Today we're looking at the Springfield Armory Ronin 1911 chambered in 10mm. This one here is a new release. The Ronin line is not new. They make this in 45 ACP, 9mm, and now 10mm, and that's what this is. I am fortunate enough to get my hands on this, take it to the range on a couple occasions, and check it out, and I have to say I am thoroughly impressed. It's a beautiful looking 1911 and a very nice shooting 1911. Now the purpose of this video is to show the Ronin being shot at 50 yards and 100 yards. I am stepping out of my comfort zone to do this. It's something I don't typically do, but I wanted to do it because I felt the best chance I would have to be successful with distance shooting would be with this model right here, because it was so accurate. But I mentioned I took it to the range on 2 occasions, and the ammo that I used is CCI Blazer Brass 180 grain target loads. And I also used Federal Fusion self-defense loads, jacketed soft points, 200 grain rounds, and each shot clean, each shot accurate. Combined with the Ronin, it was amazing. But before we get into the distance shooting, let's check out the pistol itself. Laminate grips right there. Okay, it's got that crossed cannon Springfield insignia and 8-round magazines, 10mm. The frame is stainless steel, hammer forged, as well as a hammer forged slide, matte finish black. The overall look is stunning. I think it's beautiful. 2-dot rear sights with a tactical ledge right there, so you can charge it off a boot or a belt if you have to, and a fiber optic front sight. The sight picture is very nice, aligns perfectly. And then the trigger, I'm measuring right at 5 pounds, and that is why I love 1911s right there. That short trigger pull just is so accurate, keeps you on target. And the recoil was very manageable with these rounds. It was great. I felt confident, and as I shot it, I became more and more confident with it. And once again, I decided to back up. But let's go ahead and show some of that range footage, and then we'll back it up and show you how well I did at 50 and then 100 yards. Here we have self-defense loads, Federal Fusion, 200 grain bonded soft points. Now that I felt confident with the Ronin 1911 and 10mm, I decided to take it to my other range that offers a longer distance, and I started out at 50 yards. Now I have the silhouette target that has spikes. I had to pound it into the frozen ground. It was a cold and windy and snowy Michigan winter, and that's what I dealt with. But that's okay, because even with numb hands and very stiff fingers, I felt like I would be successful with the Ronin at 50 yards. I shot it until my target fell down, but let's go ahead and check out that footage. As you can see, I went 5 for 6 at 50 yards, and then my target fell down. Now, I thought that was okay. Not great. I really wanted 6 for 6, or actually 8 for 8, but my target fell down. And of course, I used the help of a bench rest and a table. But I figured, instead of pounding that target down, let's go ahead and move that thing back another 50 yards and see how well I do at 100 yards. So I huffed that thing back there, pounded it down, and hoped that it would stay there for the duration of my shots. And that's what I did. Now, I figured there would be some bullet drop at 100 yards, especially the 180 grain bullet that I was using. And there was. And so, full disclosure, I took some practice shots, I used the bench rest, and I learned that if I put that fiber optic front sight right at the neck of the silhouette, expecting approximately an 8-inch drop, then I had the greatest chance to be successful. And I thought I did okay once again. Well, I did okay. The Ronin did excellent. It did everything it had to do, but instead of talking about it, let's get after this thing and you can see for yourself. At 100 yards, I went 6 for 7, and I was happy with that. Stepping out to 100 yards and firing 10 millimeter, something I've never done before, let alone with a 10 millimeter. But I'm super happy with the Ronin. I'm super happy with the ammo. And looking back, I'm pretty proud of that accomplishment because it's not an easy shot, even with the larger silhouette target. And whether you think I did great or whether you think I did just so-so, I can honestly say I sure had fun. And this Ronin really is one nice 1911.